I think that there is cause for optimism about China's pollution record, because at this point you have a major national dialogue about it, and you have the political will to change the situation. You see these leaders get up and talk about pollution the way that they talked about poverty reduction 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you saw the scale of poverty in China. It was crushing. It seemed like an intractable issue. And I think right now, you look at the way they're addressing environmentalism or environmental problems, they're addressing it in the same way. That gives me cause for hope. But I also think it's important to keep that optimism guarded, because the scale of the problem is so vast and the stakes are so high that things will almost inevitably get worse before they get better. Because we're dealing with such a sprawling political system with so many layers, you often find that there's a disconnect between these ideals on the top levels and implementation on the ground at the local level. So the central government is fully incentivized to try and rectify this issue. Local officials who have a lot to gain by building polluting enterprises and allowing them to pollute are a lot more reticent to embrace these changes. And as a result, despite these major advances in rhetoric about pollution, you still find these villagers who have had their lives destroyed by polluting enterprises. So I did a story a few years ago about a major open pit coal mine in Liaoning province that the local government was trying to turn into a tourist attraction. It had run out of coal, and they were trying to figure out how to reinvent their economy. So I went there and I spoke with a couple of government officials in charge of the project. And they were full of very high-minded rhetoric. They wanted to turn their city into this model of sustainable development. But there was one problem, which is that there were still a few coal deposits left in the mine. So they were moving full speed ahead with this redevelopment, and you would look across this massive mine to a hillside on the far side, and you could see that they had built wind turbines on the hill. They wanted to move beyond coal, but they wouldn't as long as that coal was economically viable. Now, I think you can expand beyond this scenario to look at the nation's scenario, and you see the same problem everywhere, that the government knows that environmentalism is a top priority. They're trying to expand beyond coal, but very, very few local governments have the incentives to really get rid of coal. Some individuals in some areas of China have found that the government is embarking on projects that would completely destroy their livelihoods. And at this point, they feel like they have nothing left to lose. So what you've seen is a spate of NIMBY protests in China. It carries a completely different set of connotations, and it carries a completely different set of consequences for people involved. When individuals in China attempt to confront the Communist Party over a grievance, something that they don't want to happen, they find they don't only run up against an impenetrable web of bureaucracy, they run up against this dark, sinister undercurrent of threats, intimidation, a parallel legal system that can confront them on its own terms. A lot of people are intimidated. They're jailed for unjust causes. People have been beaten. People disappear. Environmentalism as an ideology has gained a foothold in China. It's the first time in decades that this has happened, maybe ever. But at the same time, people know that the pollution is here, and it's here to stay, and it's getting worse by the day, by the month, by the year. And in the short term, there's very little they can do about it. Try and protect themselves. I mean, the really great thing about the China environment story is that it's a big story, is that it takes all of these other stories of China's development under its umbrella. So
it's kind of like the ultimate lens through which to see China in a way.
You have many lenses through which to see China, but the environment is probably one of the better ones. I mean, you have social unrest, you have corruption, you have the courts, like legislation, the role of that rule of law plays in Chinese society. You have Social issues, people taking to the web, you have protests. It's a dramatic story. I mean, you look at the climate change debate in the US, and it's very hard to put a human face on it. You go to China, and everybody's face is the face of environmentalism, environmental problems.